Hello everyone, welcome to day 1 of FortiGate Firewall series. Guys, this is day 1 of FortiGate Firewall course, and in today's class we are going to understand what is firewall, what is FortiGate Firewall, what kind of features FortiGate Firewall offers, and then finally we will have one small lab on it. So without wasting our time, let's begin. First of all, see, this is FortiGate Firewall. This is not Fortinet Firewall. Fortinet is a company, is a cybersecurity company, and FortiGate Firewall is one product of this company. Before talking about FortiGate Firewall, let's understand what is Fortinet first. Let me write here Fortinet. What is Fortinet? So Fortinet is a cybersecurity company which makes product to protect networks, users and data from threats like your hackers, malware, viruses, Think of Fortinet like a company that builds digital locks, guards and cameras to protect the network. Now let's understand what is FortiGate. So what I told you, what is FortiGate? FortiGate is a firewall product made by Fortinet. This product used to protect networks from the threats. It allows and block a specific traffic. It creates VPN. It can inspect packet deeply. It can control the applications and users. It can stop viruses, intrusion and more. Now we have understood the difference between Fortinet and FortiGate, right? Fortinet is a company and FortiGate is one product of this company. Now let's understand what is firewall. So guys, in many video I told you that firewall is like a security guard at a building gate, right? Firewall is like a security guard at a building gate. So what is the responsibility of this guard at the building gate? The guard is responsible to check who is coming in, who is going out, right? And based on the policies of that society, that guard will allow or block the traffic, means people, right? So we can say it allows trusted people, which is nothing but your traffic in the network, traffic which you want to allow, and blocks dangerous people, which is nothing but the or malicious traffic, right? So firewall is like a security guard at the building gate, which will allow trusted people and will block the dangerous people, means it will allow the trusted traffic and it will block the malicious traffic. This is why we are using firewall in the network. In other words, you can say firewall monitor and control incoming and outgoing traffic to protect your system or to protect your network or to protect your data. Now imagine a company called pmnetworking.in. right? PM Networking Private Limited. PM Networking Private Limited is a company. For an example, this company has one head office in Mumbai and 3 branches in different locations in Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai. Each office has internet connection. Each office has 100 plus employees, and there are some critical server or database. What is the issue in the company? Issue is, see, this is my headquarter, branch 1, branch 2, and branch 3. In each sites, in each branch, there is internet connection, then we have 100 plus employees, and we have some critical servers and databases. What is the issue over here in the company? Guys, issue is, you know what is the problem here? Let me write all the problems here. It will help you to understand the FortiGate firewall in better way. What are the problems? And these are the problems of every enterprise company, whether it is a small company, a small network, medium-sized network, large network, whether it is enterprise network, data center, service provider network, everywhere, whenever you have internet connectivity, employees, and some server, some resources. Employees means your users, critical server and database means your critical data, and internet connection means the connectivity from the public network. And we know internet is not secure. Good people and bad people, both types of people are there on the internet. So what will happen if any hackers will try to access the server, right? Hacker may try to access server. First problem. Second problem, viruses may enter in my network via mail or website. Viruses may enter via email or via website. Third problem, employee may visit dangerous website. Employee may visit dangerous website. Next problem, and let's suppose the employees, your 100 employees are not allowed to access the social media during the office hour, right? How you will control that, right? Let's suppose you want to block YouTube and Facebook during office hours. How you will block YouTube and Facebook during office hour? Or how you will connect these 4 sites, head office and 3 branches? You need to create VPN. We know 2 private sites cannot communicate over public network, so we need to create VPN here, right? Maybe you need secure, and even we cannot create the GRE VPN, which is not secure. So we need to create secure VPNs to connect branches, right? So these are the issues in PM Networking Private Limited company. And what is the solution of these all issues, these all problems? Solution is install a FortiGate firewall in each office. In each office I can install a FortiGate firewall here, and here. Now my firewall, FortiGate firewall, can protect my network or my server from the hackers. My FortiGate firewall can prevent the viruses to enter in my network via email or website. My employee cannot visit to the dangerous website. FortiGate Firewall will take responsibility of this. Even FortiGate Firewall will not allow employees to access YouTube or all social media websites during the office hour. FortiGate Firewall also allow you to create a secure VPN between all the branches, right? So solution is, if I will talk about the solution, here I am writing solution. Solution is FortiGate Firewall, means install FortiGate Firewall at each site. Then it will protect against viruses and hackers. It will block access to social media and adult sites. It will create secure VPN tunnel between all offices and branches. It will filter traffic by user. FortiGate Firewall can filter traffic based on user, based on application, based on time. Like in the during the office hour, social media applications should be blocked. At the same time, it can also give you the logs, alert for monitoring, right? So what we have understood till now, we have discussed what is Fortinet, what is FortiGate, and what is firewall, right? Here, similar like FortiGate Firewall, we can have another firewall as well, next generation firewall. Next generation firewall is your Palo Alto firewall, your Checkpoint firewall, your FortiGate firewall. You can install any firewall at these sites. Now let's understand what kind of features FortiGate Firewall offers. Features offered by FortiGate Firewalls. First feature is features of FortiGate Firewall. Guys, first of all, your FortiGate Firewall is next generation firewall. It is next generation firewall, means it can stop advanced attack. Stop advanced attack, the today's attack. FortiGate Firewall also offer UTM, Unified Threat Management. Unified Threat Management. Which combines antiviruses, web filtering, and app control. Then the next feature is SSL inspection. SSL inspection. What do you mean by it? It means it can check encrypted traffic. It checks encrypted traffic. SSL inspection, that is the meaning of SSL inspection. Then it offers VPN service, the secure VPN. Securely connects branches or remote users. Then it's also offer IPS and IDS, intrusion prevention system and intrusion detection system, detect and prevent intrusion, It's also offer web filtering. We can block unwanted website. It also offer app control. Application control means we can control app like torrent, WhatsApp, etc. Then it also offer user-based policy. User-based policy means we can control traffic based on user, based on group, based on devices. Example, let's suppose an employee is trying to access Facebook during the office hour. So here my FortiGate firewall can check the request and it will find the Facebook is blocked in the policy. So it will deny the access and it will generate a log for you, right? So these are the features offered by FortiGate firewalls. Hope it is clear, right? And in the course we are going to learn these all features. Now guys, let's set up a basic lab and let's see how we can access the FortiGate firewall and how we can perform the basic configuration there. Okay, so here is my EVNG, and in the last video I had shown you how you can set up FortiGate firewall in your EVNG, right, for the lab practice. So see, to access this FortiGate firewall, I am going to connect it with my laptop. Right, in the production, how you are going to access your FortiGate firewall, you will connect it with your PC, and you will configure one IP address on this interface and one IP address on your PC, and then in the browser you can type that IP address, you will have GUI access. Okay, so let me connect this firewall with my local PC. I am going to use the management interface here, management interface, save. And on the FortiGate firewall, let me see how many ports are there. 4 ports are there. If you need more ports, you can increase the port here. 4 port is sufficient for me right now. So let me save it and I am going to connect this with my local laptop. And on the FortiGate firewall, you can see we have 4 port 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, later we'll see the John based configuration, right, and how to create the policies and those all things. But for now, if you are going to connect your FortiGate firewall with port number 1, then your FortiGate firewall will get IP address from the DHCP, right? If I will talk about the default configuration, so in default configuration, DHCP service is enabled on port number 1. If you will connect it with port number 2, then you have to configure IP address manually. I am going to connect it on port number 1 and save it, and now I am going to turn on my device, FortiGate firewall. And here I will access it through CLI. In this course, we will learn the CLI based configuration as well as GUI based configuration. Both types of configuration, because in the production as well, sometime you will configure your firewall through CLI, sometime you will configure through GUI. So wait, firewall is booting. Now you can see after boot up, it is asking for the credential, login credential, and the default username is admin, and by default there is no any password, just enter. But I think I had set the password over here. When you will access your FortiGate firewall for the first time, you have to set the password, right? But I already have password here, which is admin and again admin. So now it is verifying the password, and you can see I got the access of my FortiGate firewall. Here, to verify the ports, you can run command show system interface. So system interface, it will show you the configuration of all interfaces. Here you can see config system interface, port number 1. Port number 1, set mode DHCP. If you want to configure this mode, this port to work in a static mode, means you want to configure the static IP address, then you can change the mode through CLI as well as through GUI. Now set allow service ping HTTPS, SSH and HTTP. These services are allowed on this particular port number 1. Okay, on port number 2, you can see the DHCP is not enabled. On port number 3 also DHCP is not enabled. On port number 4 also DHCP is not enabled. Only on port number 1 DHCP service is enabled. Here we are not able to see the IP address. You can run command show system interface and then you can put the question mark here, question mark. and you can see the IP address on port number 1. The method is DHCP, and the IP address on this particular interface is 192.168.241.134, and this is the subnet mask, and the port status is up. If you want to change the mode here, or you want to configure the static IP address, you can use command um, uh, set mode static, right, on the particular interface. And the mode of port number 2 and port number 3 is, you can see, static. We are not able to see port number 4 here. Don't worry, in the future classes we'll see those all things. For now, here, if I want to check the routing table of this device through CLI, then I can run command get router info and routing table all. Info routing table all. It will show me the routing table. Here you can see in the routing table there is one default route, and the IP address on the connected interface on port number 1 is this one. Now if I'm going to browse this IP address in my browser, in any browser, this is the network ID. Where is the IP? Here is the IP. If I will open any browser here, let me open Opera to access the firewall. In the Opera browser, I am going to paste the IP address. And now you can see this is, I am on the FortiGate Firewall page. It is asking for the login credential. Username was admin and password was also admin. Later, and here you can see this is my main dashboard of FortiGate Firewall. Here we have the system information like the host name, serial number, firmware. Later we will learn these all things like how to update firmware, mode is NAT, system time, uptime, WAN IP address, right? Later we will discuss these all things. For now, if you want to change the host name, just click over here and then update firmware, configure, setting, and here you can change the host name. Let me say FortiGate, right? And then I can update. Here you can change the time zone as well. For an example, time zone is plus GMT plus 5:30. Asia Kolkata, let me set it, and then to apply, just click on this apply button. Apply. Okay. And now you can see the host name is changed. Here you can see on the top my host name is now FortiGate. Okay. On the dashboard there are so many things. Day by day you will be learning these all things. For now, if I am going to click on dashboard, here is the status option. Now you can see your host name is changed and your time zone is also changed. After that, to configure the interfaces, you will go to network section. See, earlier we had the series for Palo Alto Firewall. On the Palo Alto Firewall, we learned all the configuration, and guys, most of the configurations are even same, right? The dashboard is going to be different, the looks wise it will be different, but the concept is same. There also, to configure interfaces, we had one network section. Here also on the FortiGate Firewall we have network section. If I am going to click on network and then interfaces, so you can see my all interfaces here, port number 1, port number 2, and port number 3. If I want to configure port number 2, I will click on port number 2. Let me click on port number 1 and port number 1. Here it is, port number 1, and these are the services which is allowed over here. If you don't want to allow HTTP and HTTPS, you can remove it from here. Let me open the port number 1. You can define the name, description. This is similar like the description or tag or label. After that, method, you can see the DHCP. Here we can set manually. If you want to configure IP address manually on the port number 1, you can change the method. Then you can define the IP address. If I am going to click on manually, it will ask me to configure the IP address. After that, you can see the services, administrative access. The HTTPS service is allowed. Here I can disable it. HTTP service also I can disable it. Ping service, I am leaving it on enable. SSH I can disable it, and then we can save it, right? From here only we'll find somewhere to enable the NAT as well. For now, let me say okay. right? This is the interfaces configuration. Similarly, here on the dashboard left side, you can see here I have main dashboard, then we have network section. Under network section we have interfaces, we have DNS configuration, sdwan, routing. Let's suppose to configure static routing, I will configure here policy route, here RIP routing protocol, OSPF routing protocol, BGP routing protocol, routing object, right? Then multicast. So there are so many things under network section related to network configuration. Then we have policy and objects to configure policy to allow or deny a specific traffic. You can see firewall policy, DOS policy, addresses. For the VPN, we have one VPN section here. For the security profile, we have security profile option, VPN option, user and authentication, Wi-Fi controller system, security fabric, and here we can check log and reports. Similarly, we can perform some configuration, basic configuration through CLI as well. Through CLI, let me log in admin and admin. Now let's suppose through CLI you want to check connectivity. So you will run command execute ping. Whatever command you want to execute ping, and then IP address of my local laptop is 192.168.241.138. So you can see I am getting reply, right? That means reachability is there from my laptop as well. I am able to ping FortiGate Firewall. Now to configure interface through CLI, you are going to run command configure system and interface, then here we will say edit port number 1, and then if you will put question mark, nothing is there, just enter it. Now I am on port number 1, and here we can allow particular service, and here I can say set allow services, allow access, then ping. If you want to allow HTTPS, you can allow it HTTP, you can allow SSH, whatever services you want to allow, here you can allow. Now these all services are allow here, right? Then to configure next port number 2, I will say next here, next port, and yes, and then port 2, sorry, edit port 2. Now I am on port number 2, edit port 2. To configure port number 3, again I will run command next, and then edit port 3. I am on port number 3. Under system, if you are going to check the firmware and registration, it will show you your firewall is registered or not. So you can see my FortiGate Firewall is online, status is online, and the registration status is registered. That means my firewall is registered and it is online. From here again so many options are there, CCNP, HA, FortiGuard. We'll talk about these all things later. And in the dashboard here we can on this firewall, in the GUI also we can check the routing table. Here we can add the monitor, and I want to add, let's say, routing monitor. Somewhere you will find routing monitor here. User authentication, security, system, network. Under network, here is the routing. Let me add it. Let's say OK. And now you can see this is my routing table on the GUI. In the routing table, you can see one network is there, 192.168.241.0/24, and this network is connected on interface port 1, right? So today just we have discussed how to access the FortiGate Firewall and the basic thing about the dashboard. Now in the upcoming classes we are going to learn it, we are going to master it, all the things day by day. Let me take you to dashboard again. Here this is my dashboard, and you can see here right side on the top there is admin. If I am going to click on admin, here system, configuration, password, many things are there. For an example, you want to take backup of your configuration, so simply you are going to click on backup. And guys, the dashboard is so user friendly, right? Anyone can understand it very easily. Where you want to take backup on your local laptop or through USB disk, and your backup should be encrypted or it should be in plain text. Let's suppose it should be in plain text. If I'm going to say okay here, it will download the configuration. You can see here in my download, this is my configuration. If I'm going to open it in the notepad, and here you can see the configuration. This is my configuration of FortiGate Firewall. Here in the configuration on port number 1, you will find the IP address, you can see, right? So this way we can take the configuration, and you can see my configuration is in plain text, and later we can restore it as well. We'll learn these all things, how to restore it, right? Again, let me take you to the dashboard. So what we have seen here in the dashboard, we have many options. We have the routing table. Then in the network section, we have interface, DNS. Under interface, you can see these all interfaces, what services you want to allow on the interface, right? What IP address you want to configure, how you want to configure the IP, statically, dynamically, we can manage everything. Here we can check the logs as well. These are the system events, security events. We can check the reports, right? And day by day we will be learning these all things in detail, right? So hope the basic dashboard is clear to you, how the main dashboard looks like, and there are multiple many options. In the future class we will learn these all things. We have also seen some basic CLI commands on the FortiGate firewall, and in future class you will be learning many more CLI commands as well to configure the static routing, to configure other interfaces. In next video we will set up one basic lab and we'll see the configuration through CLI as well as GUI. That's all for today, guys. And the most important thing is, if you want me to complete this playlist, please share your feedback. Do you really need this course, this playlist, and how was this video? If this video was helpful, just type here helpful. If you are not going to share the feedback, it will be difficult for me to create or to make videos every day, right, on the Fortinet firewall, because I have so many requests on other topics for videos on other topics. So please keep sharing your feedback. How was the session? Please share it, and if the video was helpful for you, please like the video. That's all for today. Let's meet in next class. Till then, stay safe. Bye bye. That's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching.